Hey, this is Carla with Discover Your Center, and today I wanted to share a few of the tools and exercises I use to find relief in the wrists when I'm feeling tension, or ones that I share with my clients as well. So first and foremost, I just want to say, if you're sitting on the floor, because you can do this on a chair, but if you are on the floor, you may want to consider just sitting on a blanket, lifting those hips up just slightly so I'm right at the edge of the blanket. And when you do that, you can feel more space in the pelvic bowl, and that can help just with sitting with more ease. So as you're focused on the wrists, you're not thinking also if there's any tension in the hips or the pelvis or tightness in the calves, okay? So find a place that you're comfortably seated. Coming to the wrists, first we want to just give them some attention. And often what I find is that we have been trained very well to notice sensations in the body and then identify them as problems that need fixing or that something's wrong. So first, please can you release the idea of right and wrong or good and bad and be very present. Just allow yourself to come and be curious about the wrists right now and curious about what you might be able to do in your own self-care to offer a little relief. All right, so first the breath. Just coming in and softening. Maybe lift those arms up. And then exhale. Nice. Okay, so I will often, for me personally, it's often in the morning that I wake up. If I'm experiencing that tension, I'm going to notice it early. So holding and just tuning into where those sensations are gently. It's like a little squeeze, all right? You can even squeeze out through the fingers. I'm doing this just really to tune in. You can even begin to develop a language with your body. Like, body, what are you aware of today? And what could I choose right now that might create more ease, more relief in the wrists? All right. After you've done that, the other arm, and really tune in as well. Like, are you feeling something more in one arm than the other arm? Like, I am noticing, I didn't know that I had tension before creating this video, but now I'm realizing that my right wrist actually feels like it does. It is carrying a little bit of tension today. All right, move them around in some circles, just bringing energy and attention to the wrists. And I really believe all of yoga should help you and our exercises and not hurt you. So tune in very well to that. This is not a substitute for any physical therapy that may be necessary or a yoga therapist or anything else. This is really a part of tuning in to your own body wisdom and your own self-care. And from that place, I really believe the more we get our own hands on our body and we tune into our breath and we come from a place of curiosity, more quickly we can tap into the awareness of who else, what else might I need to add into my life for care, whether that's a practitioner or massage therapist or other healing modality. So here we go. You can rub your hands together. I just like to think of building heat and making that connection, using these hands to heal. And then extend one arm out. I'm going to extend the left arm out and point the fingers down to the earth. Take the right hand gently, very gently press those fingers down to the earth. Mindful that I'm not going to hyperextend or overextend the elbow. All right. A couple breaths here is fine. If you want to go longer, you can. 10 breaths or more. It's totally up to you. Then the other arm, so right palm reaching down to the earth. Take the opposite hand fingers and gently, so I'm pressing down and pulling back without forcing anything. Everything is connected in the body, so really tune in. If you're a jaw clencher, you might notice that your jaw wants to start clenching when you stretch through the arms, neck, shoulders. Sometimes the shoulders want to creep up when we're focusing. So just notice all parts of you and release. And then inhale, push through both hands. Exhale. All right, inhale again. This time as we exhale, we're going to point those fingertips down. Inhale, bring them up. And exhale, down. Inhale, up. And exhale, down. Great. Here's here's a little gentle twist in the hand that I like to do. So if you take the left hand is where I'll start, and it's almost like when you start in prayer hands here. Now just release the right. We've got the left hand here. Turn the hand, the thumb is going to turn toward the shoulder, out and away from the body. Take the right hand and gently hold the thumb. Often I just naturally find this right thumb wants to land in between the first and second finger bone structure there. And gently, I don't want to really use the word pull, but it is like gently moving that right hand, but the left hand is going to resist back. So these hands are sort of resisting each other, building strength, noticing what you notice. Nothing should create more pain. And notice the jaw, the shoulders, the neck. If you're holding, and notice too through the hips, the pelvis, because sometimes we might be holding in tension there. Soften, release. Now the other hand, so right palm in front, turn that thumb away from you, out to the back. Take the left hand and gently, see, my right side is more tense and everything's connected. So I was feeling it in my wrist before, and now as I move into this exercise, I actually dropped my right shoulder and went forward. So this is really the mindfulness piece. This is the really tuning into all parts, because everything is affected. So if there's tension in my wrist, then I'm probably compensating somewhere else in the body. Right there, it was the wrist. I dropped, I even did a little twist. So bringing the body back to neutral, and then I'm gonna do less in this turn with the hand, right? And the resistance. More is not always better. Release. Nice. One more we can do right here is hands can come together in the Anjali Mudra, Namaste, and gently drop those hands down. Notice the neck, the shoulders. You can push down even a little further. Once the hands start to pull apart at the base, that's where you want to pause and almost just sort of be present in that space, bringing your awareness into the wrists, into the hands, into the fingers. My knuckles are gently pressing toward one another. And bring it up and release. One more. This is on the mat, a little similar to what we were doing just a moment ago, but you can do this from all fours and take the right wrist, turn it all the way around so the fingertips are toward you, and very gently, you are in control of how much pressure. Looking to be mindful of this elbow not hyperextending. My toes are curled just for better support, and leaning them back. One way to create less tension would be to put those fingertips closer to the knee as I come back. So I'm really pressing into the top knuckles at the tops of my fingers, and the bottom palm of the hand can lift off the mat. And so I'm getting a stretch all the way through. You can even use your right, or your opposite, it's my left actually, left fingers on top of the right, just as support. Again, no forcing, no pushing. If this is a lot of pressure, maybe I would be back just letting the fingertips and feeling this stretch through the top of the hand. Okay. Now turn that hand over to the back of the hand as resting on the mat. And here's where what sometimes happens if there's a lot of tension, we may shift the whole body weight over to the left. See if you can still keep the body over both shoulders, both wrists, and lean on back. Again, it's up to you how long you stay here. It can just be a breath or two, or it can be more. Softening. And release. Then the other hand, so turning that left wrist out, fingertips coming toward you, really feeling everything connect to the mat first, and then as you lean back, you'll feel the stretch come as the base of the palm comes off the mat. Still feeling those fingertips connect, those knuckles into the mat. And release. And now turning the hand over so the back of the hand is on the mat. time that something you're feeling hot, sharp, shooting, tingling, numbing, those are typically signs that the body is saying pain. All right, and so less pressure, or maybe this isn't even the exercise for you. Go back to one that is creating more release, release and relief rather than more tension and pain. And that is how and why, when we are really tuning into the breath and we're looking to tune into what other parts of the body, what's going on in the rest of the body when we're just working in this part, because everything is connected. Then I want to just invite you, this is my favorite. Like, if you really do one thing, this could be a great place to start. And that is taking oil. It could just be coconut oil. So if there's inflammation, if you're sensing inflammation in the wrists and the forearms, in the fingers, the joints, often coconut oil can be really nice. But if there's a drying sensation, which is interesting, the sister science to yoga is Ayurveda, and everyone is unique. But if you notice more in the winter when it's cold and dry, then I would typically gravitate toward an oil that is more warming, like sesame. You could even use almond or grapeseed oil. If you use essential oils, I love them. There are many that you can add. Two of my favorites that are usually just hanging around. Frankincense is beautiful. And I also have another bottle, a little dropper bottle like this, and I mix in lavender and peppermint. Now, peppermint also has cooling qualities, so it's not something I typically use a lot in the winter, but other times of the year you could use lavender and frankincense, lots of combinations. Use Young Living oils. There's also another oil that they make, Panway, which I actually love for massaging the joints and as well. So if I were going to massage, there really is no, again, sometimes we get really stuck on doing it the right way, and what if there was actually no right way? It was just about noticing. So you can take that oil, begin to rub it in. All right, I like to think of up and down on the long bony parts, and then really massaging around, almost more circular motions around the joints. Don't forget the hands, so the patting of the hand, and just notice what you notice and really start to give some attention to everything in the hand. I like to go out through every finger. Right, this could be something you do in the morning. It could be something you do if you're just sitting, if you're watching something, or you're listening to something. It can be great before bed, massaging the hands or the feet. It's a beautiful practice of self-care. So there we have it. And then you'll want to do the other one, of course. But those are a few of the things that I actually really love to do to offer relief in the wrists, any tension. So this is if you're working up to strength in plank, tabletop, downward facing dog. This could be if you're spending a lot of time at the laptop. This could be if you're just noticing as the seasons change, you're experiencing more tension in the joints. Tune in to what that is. If you have more questions, you can email me, carla@discoveryourcenter.com, and go out and enjoy. If you like any of these exercises, let me know below, and I'd love to hear. Namaste.